This is the triple Qs on the 5-minute time frame. Here are your price targets for Monday. We ended the week at $472.56, up 1.11%. To the north side from where we are takes us to the middle of the trend and the baseline, and that is roughly $474.98. To the north side of that takes us back to an area we've been before, and that is roughly 482.31. At 3 standard deviations, another level of resistance and another potential take profit area and an area to go short, 485.95. And above that, should we be so lucky as to get to this level, that would be 489.58, but do not hold your breath. If we wick up to this level, you can bet there will be a sell-off as people take their profits and they run, they will lock in and they will leave. Now, to the south side, takes us back to -2 standard deviations and another level of support and a potential buy-in area and a potential stop-loss area. Below that, 463.96. And if we get down to this level, you can bet the triple Qs will get bought up by people who are trying to buy the dip, and that would take us to 460.33. Now, you can look left here and see that we are grinding here along the middle of the trend. This is resistance, and then we could chop sideways or continue our price action going up. But right now, we are in an upward channel, so that's nice to see. This gap to the south side will take us to roughly, well, it starts at 458.01 and will close out at roughly 455.06. And then this gap, which opened up on the 22nd of April, that will take us to roughly 437.75 and closes out at roughly 433.91. We are not in the channel, not in the zone, but just something to be aware of when we head back south. Now, there are some gaps that I need to clean up that I have talked about in the past. That one closed. Let me move this out of the way. All right, the last time I talked about price, we were at 444.18. This gap opened to the downside, closed to the upside, and that took us to 443.64. That gap is no longer in play. How much is, let me get rid of my magnet. This level to 472.56 is a return of 6%. Playing the long game here, and that was on the 16th of April is the last time I did a video on this. So 6%, good. I'll take that all day long than putting my money in a regular bank account. No, thank you. Yes, you have to have money there to pay for things for a rainy day emergency fund, but for long term, parking your money, no, thank you. Okay, this gap closed to the upside at 457.87. All right, and then this gap, we've already touched the bottom of it, but it is still in play, taking us to 476.13, and then this gap will take us to 481.52, and that one opened up on March the 28th. I did a video for SARV here when the price was at 493. And of course, what goes up must go down. What goes down doesn't necessarily go back up again. But sometimes you got to get down to get back up again. And it looks like we're just retracing this area. But we've got another landmine right here at 396.92. Just keep looking left. But one day, one gap at a time. These aren't going to get filled typically in a day. I mean, there are tons of gaps that trade then close out in a day, and I cover them, especially my gap and goes tickers. But for instance, here, that's a Wednesday, that's a Friday. These are bigger movements. Okay, where was I? So we've got other gaps to be aware of, and I think that is it. Well, this looks, yeah, that's fine. Okay. Well, apparently when I looked at price on December 31 of 2024, we were at $511. Okay, that's the triple Qs, and I want to go over. Oh wait, let me just give you really quickly on the daily time frame. And we are at 472.56, though that green line there. Oops, grabbed the wrong thing. Ignore all the purple lines except for the one I just drew today. These are old ones. But right now, the upper band will take us to 512.44, and -2 standard deviations will take us to 463.66. Okay, and that's it. Now let me flip this to the 5 and go over BAM. This is a ticker that I have not covered, and Trader Brent is curious about it, so I thought I would take a look at it. That'd be fun. Let's go over it together and see what the technical side of things tell us. This is not the fundamental side, the technical side only. We ended the day at 52.95, up 0.99%. The 52-week low, 37.29. That's a big run up already. And the high was 62.61. Of course, we reached that high, and then there's a pullback. There's always a pullback. So the middle of the trend, let me move this out of the way. Oops. My allergies are still out of control. It's getting better every day, but I take a step forward and then it gets windy again and there's all kinds of junk in the air. It's horrible. Okay, 53.47. If we hit this level, this is resistance. And then if we chop sideways, this is resistance. And then hopefully we can head up. But this is one area to be aware of. This is also a potential take profit area. Depends on where you bought in. If you want to play it conservatively, buying down here, selling off at this green line, that's a nice easy play as well. 54.57, 55.13, and do not hold your breath for price to get to this level on Monday at some other point. Yes, 55.67. As a matter of fact, just for giggles, I'm going to do this very quickly since this is the beginning of the week, the end on Friday here, and I'm just going to take a look at where could we be for a swing trade for the week. So there's Friday, but is that the end of Friday? Nope, Friday right here. Okay, we are in an upward channel, but there are things that are pulling us to the south side, and I'll talk about that in a second. The middle of the trend, if we continue to go up, but that's a big if, we have to consolidate and go sideways too. 59.06, 57.96, 57.37, and 56.78. 60.70, and should we be so lucky to get to here, 61.26. All right, so the gaps that will take us down closes at 49.49 and 47.38. And as you can see, looking left, resistance, a clear area of resistance, which means take your profits and run if that's what you're trying to do. Get in, get up, get out. But if you're buying and holding, then you have to ignore this and you can't look at it because, yeah, it's going to go down. This is support, and we chopped around here, went down, and then just grinding along back up, and then back down, and then grinding along this line. So if we go down, that's one level of support, and that's resistance. And here, clear area that tells you this is a buy area, take profit area, and a buy-in, a sell area, a buy-in area here, here, and here. We never made it that far. All right, the 1-year price target. Oh, next earnings report in 9 days. So we could run and then pull back again because that does often happen. 1 week, we're up 9%. 1 month, 2.3%, but for the 3-month period, down 9%. Year to date, 37%. Congratulations on that if you've been playing this for a while. So right now, the 1-year price target is 56.50. Let's mark it out. I like to make my price targets in white. And the coordinates 5650. Okay, and let's put Sunday, April 27th, 25. And I'm going to write the price in case it disappears. My bar, 5650, which represents a 6.71% return. There's not much left in this before the next target, which is in the $70 range. That's nice. But look, they're saying this could go down to 3201, which would be a great buy-in area. But not obviously if you bought higher than that. And this is a company that gauges in the provision of alternative asset management services across renewable power and transition, infrastructure, private equity, real estate. I'm intrigued about that because I do have O for my mom, and credit industry. It invests client capital for the long term with a focus on real assets and essential service businesses. Founded in 2022, so a pretty young company, headquartered in New York. Okay. And let's go to the daily. What does the daily tell us? First, let's look at the RSI. Like the highest we've ever gotten is 8250, and looks like we're going here maybe. I mean, hopefully we go back up to this level, but always expect anytime you hit this critical area, it's going to sell off for another leg up, potentially. There's more room to go up, but anytime, and then this is your buying area. Your clear buying area if you're trying to buy at an oversold area. Okay, your range here, 52, this is where we are. So to the north side, 56.33, and to the south side, 46.85, which would close out this gap, and we really do need to close out that gap. I don't like open gaps. Those come back to bite us and haunt us. I'd rather rip off the Band-Aid and close them up, but that doesn't always happen. All right, that's the daily. And then we look at this. We have a, oh no, that closed out. Oh, that's good. Daily, what does the weekly tell us? The lines aren't even here because of my calculation, the length that I have it, but we're about to cross over here. This is going up, and then, I don't know, could roll over. And on the monthly, still going up a little bit. So that's good. This ticker is too young, I would say. But on the daily, you know, you can see the lines. And it started trading, well, TradingView December 1, 2022. Yeah, if I got that right. And then here's resistance, support, just grinding up, clear resistance, that's close enough, clear support. All right, I think that does it for me for BAM, Brookfield Asset Management. That was fun taking a look at it. So hopefully, Brent, you are making some dough off of this ticker, or looking at a point where you could hop off the gravy train. But look at that. Down, another leg sort of down, and then now we're grinding our way back up. All right, if there's a ticker that you would like me to go over, please let me know, and have a great trading week.